sorry, Captain Obvious, but Biden's budget could have had child care being free, and instead it boosts police. And not too much of a surprise here. But again, I just want to show that we do have all these articles during the week in independentleft.news, and I've been clipping these, cropping them, and putting them up on Instagram. So if you look at our Instagram page, you'll actually see these, and hopefully have some likes and some comments on them. And if you don't see any, give them some. But this was written by Braxton Brewington, and I want to say Braxton Brewington all week after I read this article. Just because his name
must be from Boston.
Braxton Brewington. Oh yeah, all right.
Over there by the breweries.
And again, this is not exactly the shortest article ever, and I implore everyone to go see it. However, he's talking about MLK, and that his talking about undergoing a radical revolution of values, and a nation that continues to spend more on military defense than programs of social uplift is approaching spiritual death. And here we go. Manifests in Joe Biden's significant value statement, his budget. Considered a wish list, even though we know that it's not actually going to happen. It's a reflection of his policy priorities. Given then, why my dad has an expression, don't tell me what you value, show me your budget, and I'll tell you what you value. Garbage. Well, we know what he values, and based upon what OMB Director Shalonda Young echoed the same. Okay, this is what we want to leave for our kids. However, close look at the budget proposal makes clear our children will inherit one bloated military budget, racist policing, widespread indebtedness, and an uninhabitable planet. Thank you so much, Joe.
Yep.
So, consider violent policing and surveillance. Despite a sensible and growing call by organizers around the country to defund police, what have they done? Just the opposite. Tough on crime, send police even more federal money than before. 2023 budget would allocate at least $30 billion in new police spending, which is a gut punch to the millions of voices that have decried the enormous spending on police departments, especially since the police perpetrated murder. And you don't even have to go George Floyd. Hell, you could go Amir Locke, like this week. I mean, and we're going to talk about another one. We had one last week, and unfortunately, we're coming up with these stories of police brutality and police abuse every week. It's happening everywhere. Under the false guise of security, again, and it's really funny. I was with my boomer dad this weekend, and he lives in Florida, and there's shootings all over the place in Florida. They're shooting each other on the highway. They're shooting each other everywhere. Guess what he watches every night at 11 o'clock?
Fox News 10.
And it's mostly happened. No, I think it's the NBC affiliate, but it's a Sinclair Broadcasting affiliate, I believe.
Same difference.
Effectively. All right, but
they're the same.
Then you've got LA County, New York City, highest funded law enforcement jurisdictions. So exactly what happened when you give them more money, they spend it doing more of what they've always done. More military equipment, more surveillance, arresting and brutalizing people. Running over protesters, peaceful, unarmed protesters.
And keep in mind, Florida has that protesting without,
now it's like legal to run over a protester.
Yeah.
In like 15 states, it's now legal to do that. But a mountain of evidence dating back decades shows efforts to community police or increase police accountability, transparency with materials like body cameras, are simply not ways to reduce crime. Why? Because police don't help reduce crime. They clean up after a crime has already happened. It has already happened. They don't actually prevent crime, and that is one of the big misnomers that there is. So, in 2001, research from 200 empirical studies of policing crime rates found increased policing to be among the weakest links to reducing crime and improving life. Yeah, it's economic. If you want to reduce crime, you improve the lives of the people in the community. It's that simple, and they know this. But what they want to do is give more money to cops.
They knew this shit in The Wire, and that's a show from like 10, 15 years ago.
Right? This Alec Karakastanis. He, by the way, is a great Twitter follower. He's effectively argued definition of crime itself often goes unexamined in these discussions, right? It's framed in such a way to tilt the scale toward police and enforcement. We could quantify harm independent of crime. We likely see, again, a lot of this is property stuff. A lot of this is petty theft. Organizers have been abundantly clear on this for decades, arguing that shoveling money into a violent, repressive, racist system is never going to make it less violent, repressive, or racist. And that goes for the military, too. 100%. And, of course, our $813 billion proposed defense spending, because $770 billion wasn't enough, which is another 4% increase year over year. Again, did everybody else get a 4% increase year over year? I didn't. Nope. I don't think you did. I don't think anybody else got cost of living increases. Yet we're giving the military a 4% increase after giving them $770 billion a year ago. It's beyond ridiculous. Totaling more than defense budgets of the next 11 countries combined. Now, this is changing. And thanks to our proxy war in Ukraine, we are now funding Germany to the tune of $100 billion worth of weaponry. And Ukraine itself is also getting billions of dollars worth of weaponry sent over. And of course, we're happy to give them the loans to be able to buy those weapons from us. Right?
Yeah. He won't fucking stop.
Seriously. Right? So far from being a simple defense force, U.S. military exists to allow the commission of extreme violence in any corner of the globe at a moment's notice. That neither represents the values to which we aspire nor meaningfully benefits anyone in the United States outside of perhaps a handful of powerful corporations with multinational holdings. Yeah, we do their bidding. That's exactly what it is. We are effectively a proxy for them. If he wanted a budget that reflected genuine interest in meeting communities' material needs, creating safety, and improving the lives of working people, he would prioritize funding programs of social uplift. Like I said, crucially, this would include but not be limited to education. So he proposed funding universal preschool, but no reason to stop there. All right, education is a lifelong endeavor. Why do we say it stops at 18? Why do we not subsidize and fund higher education? That means canceling all student debt, which should never have existed in the first place. And we're never going to stop on that, especially because you covered just this week that they extended the moratorium on student loan payments until, I think it was September 1st. Right? And you think they're going to do that 8 weeks before an election? So we know that's happening at least through the end of the year.
You got to look. You got to have it later because
So again.
Oh wait. No, how do I? You got to tell me when I don't hit the buttons right. Because it's like...
It'll change. When do we want it? Well, in due time. Whenever they get together, it's like, now is not the time. Yeah, now is not the time. Hey, what do we want? Incremental change. When do we want it? Well, in due time.
Oh, in due time.
In due time. Okay.
In due time.
In due time. Thank you, Jimmy. So education's only a piece of the puzzle. If we want folks to have a stake in their lives, their communities, we can and we should be doing even more. Rah, rah, rah. Well... Again, most of the people in the community, unfortunately, don't want to do any of this stuff. Build a better America, as Biden claims he wants to do. He should fund paid leave, child care before preschool. We could fund health care and wipe clean the moral state of medical debt. We could actually increase unemployment benefits, fund job training programs, increase cash assistance, fund art and community centers. This is a solutions-based article. It's one of the things I love about this one.
Yep.
Right? It's not just bitching about what we don't have, but saying what we can do.
Grassroots
and what would be a reflection
like
of our values.
Yeah.
Working tirelessly to cut the Pentagon budget. Shout out to Medea Benjamin and the Cold Pink Org. They're doing great. They're doing good work too.
Yeah.
Okay. Community organizers around the country are producing incredible policy-specific projects like Aid to Abolition, laying the groundwork to reduce the scale, scope, power, authority, legitimacy of criminalizing institutions. Poor People's Campaign, Debt Collective, again, shouting out some great organizations. Debt Collective appeared on the INN Student Debt Boycott Summit. And there is the Debt Collective.
Right.
There was a Washington, D.C. Department of Education action on January 4th. Shout out to the Debt Collective. Go give them a follow on Twitter, debtcollective.org. And I believe they're also on Twitter at Strike Debt. And the DMs are going to pop up because I went to Twitter. So let me cut that down. At Strike,
yeah, you did.
At Strike Debt. So again, I really like this article in Truthout. In addition to the fact that the guy's name is Braxton Brewington, and that's just badass.
Yep.